Did you hear me? Or was I talking to the walls? Didn't you listen to me? Do my words mean nothing at all? For time has brought us so close, and yet very far apart. I thought that our love had an inseparable heart. Separable heart. You know me better than anyone. You've made my whole world stand still. You know I would do anything at your will. I'm sorry if I break down. I'm not feeling quite right. I always tell you everything, but there's always a fight. Please tell me you're sorry, that my feelings mean so much to you, that our love is unmeasurable and inseparable too. Oh yeah. I hear you and you're talking. I'm sorry if I let you down. I really do love you. Never meant for you to wear a frown. I listen to you all the time, baby. Yeah, you say I don't hear a thing you say. Yet always my head is swinging back and forth like a swing on yesterday. Please tell me you're sorry, that my feelings mean so much to you, that our love is unmeasurable, baby, and inseparable too. Inseparable too, yeah. I never meant to call you anything. I promise that love was in vain. I know that we can work this out. Though miles apart, my heart I can't live without. Please tell me you're sorry, that my feelings mean so much to you, that our love is unmeasurable, baby, and inseparable too, yeah, inseparable too. Please listen carefully, honey. Your words are not unheard. Your feelings mean so much to me. I swear they do. Every word. Please tell me you're sorry, that my feelings mean so much to you, that our love is unmeasurable, baby, inseparable too, yeah. Inseparable too, inseparable
Hey, Chris Liepe here with a quick warm-up I do every day that helps me warm up my high notes. And it always works. I've done lots of warm-ups that work against me getting my high notes for the day, but this one never fails me. Even though it's a simple warm-up that everybody can do, there's a thought process behind why it works. And if you don't get this thought process and adopt the mindset behind it, it won't work for you. So this is more important even than the notes or what you're doing. I'm going to start on a simple C tonal center. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my head voice. I'm going to work on good chord closure with my head voice. That's not how raspy that is. That's not good chord closure. I want a bellish head voice sound. You should be able to, even without being warmed up, find your head voice. It may not be quite as bellish, and the closure may not be quite as good as you'd like it to be, but part of that is this warming up process. Don't worry about your chest voice at all right now. We're starting in our head voice, and there's good reason for it. I'm playing with my vocal apparatus so that I can get the best bellish chord closed sound out of it. Moving my tongue, moving my jaw, larynx up and down, find that sweet spot, okay? It may be a C, for me it's a C. For you it might be something different. And notice we're also starting on an open vowel. Not E or ooh. Once you feel like you've gotten good chord closure in your head voice, let's use this descending line. And it's a strategic descending line. I'm very open, my larynx is dropped. One more time. What this is allowing me to do is start with a relatively high note in my range in head voice and ease into my chest voice. Okay? I'm going to expose my break now as I do this warm-up. I'm going to go back and forth between exposing my break so you can hear when I'm in chest and when I'm in head, and you can also hear when I'm sort of blending the two. There's break. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change around where I enter my chest voice, all the while being light and head voicey in those higher notes. There was only one chest voice note there. I'm continuing to warm up that head voice and seeing how low I can get in my head voice before I need to switch in my chest voice. Sometimes I make it a clean break, sometimes I blend it. There, I blended. There, I added a little bit more chest voice. Now, as I warm up, and as I do this over and over and over again, I'm going to start easing into my chest voice higher in the descent. This is going to, from the very beginning, this is why I said the thought process is important. I am already starting high, so I'm telling myself I don't need to reach for any of these notes. I'm already able to hit these notes. I'm hitting them in my pure, good chord closure head voice. As I insert or replace certain head voice notes with chest or with mix, I've done lots of videos on mixed voice. Be sure to check those out if you haven't seen them. As I replace certain notes, I'm able to maintain good support, good technique, and not reach for those notes because I'm already hitting them. I'm warming up my mind just as much as I am my voice. Here's how that looks. You hear me break sometimes I don't break. Playing with both is super important for this exercise as well, because you don't want to shy away if you do one versus be all proud of yourself if you do the other. Both are good and both are useful. There, I went from chest voice to head voice on that last note. Like that. And even on top, I went. Ooh. See how I started in head voice and then went into my mixed voice? Broke into head voice. I'm testing all sorts of different combinations, all sorts of different approaches as I'm letting my voice ease into those higher notes. Notice I'm never going, ha! I'm never reaching for that note. I start with my head voice. Ooh, my chord closure was a little weird there at the end. It's because I was running out of breath. So identify why maybe your chord closure may not be what it needs to be. Is it because you're not supporting well enough? That was certainly the case there. This is the warm-up that I do nearly every day to ease into singing high, and it works every single time. And the reason it works is because it trains me and retrains me not to reach for those high notes, but to get them acceptably in a pure head voice, and then work my other techniques in. Hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you want more help with your mixed voice, if you want help with your voice in general, click the link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.
You know what time it is. In our lab we get Angified. In our lab we get Angified. Every night at 9. Let's go and be Angified. Angified. On the lab at night at 9.
Chris Liepe here with Queen, Don't Stop Me Now, isolated tracks. We have a little bit of multi-track stuff and some stems. Super fun to hear this song in this way. And I recently got to hear Mark Martell record a version of this at Blackbird Studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And it was amazing.
200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I want to make a supersonic woman of you.
And I'm able to do these multi-track breakdowns of great songs because this is an education channel. I teach people how to sing. And if you'd like help with your voice, if you have any interest in learning how to sing at all, click the link below and join my free voice course. Let's start with some drums. Snare. So it's dry and close mic'd, right? Now, when we add the cymbals, it's cool because you can hear the bleed of other parts of the song being played. And it shows you that this was a performance. And I mean, I think we all can agree that Queen tracked like this often, but it's neat to hear the other instruments bleed into those overheads and know that this is a band performing here, even though it's a studio performance. Which is way more common back when this was recorded than is now. Part of what makes it groove so well, it's just a band in a room. Bass. Oh, that's so cool. You can actually hear Freddie in the background. Listen really carefully here. So they've mic'd the bass amp, and we can actually, this is kind of neat, we can actually take low end out of the bass with this high pass filter and hear the bleed of just Freddie. So we can hear a little better because we don't have the low end clouding our ears. Wow, that's fun to hear. I wonder, it'll be interesting. It sounds like it might be at least partially the take that was laid down. And listen to the quality of light. Fun to speculate on that. Yeah, you can hear his bleed there too, even on those breaks. That's super cool. Hope you're listening in headphones. Let's go listen to the guitar solo. Always liked how Brian May's guitar sounds in isolation. Hear how much fizzier it sounds after that? That's really interesting. You really hear a ton of room sound. I love the way they mic'd his solos. You get that definition. There's a close mic on that cabinet, and then there's something back here, and they've phase aligned those mics so that you get two perspectives. You hear the room, but you also hear the definition. And this is something that they've done a lot to model this kind of sound in modern guitar digital modeling, but it still doesn't have quite the same imperfection. A lot of that stuff, the new stuff, still sounds and feels when you play it a bit too precise. And I love how this feels messy, yet is precise as it needs to be truly engaging. And that extra fizzy, to change mic positions, I don't know. Comped together with a slightly different mic position or something. There, it's gone again. So yeah, I think they comped it together with two slightly different techniques, miking techniques, or maybe amp settings. headphone bleed there. Awesome. Now, listen to this piano. This is amazing. Even though you hear Freddie in some of these other tracks, you don't hear it in the keys. That should tell you a lot about how you could speculate about how this was actually recorded. I mean, nothing there. You hear it in the bass, but you don't hear it here. But you do hear drums back there. Now, let's do this. Do you hear Freddie bleed there at all? Vocal Freddie. I can't say that I do. I don't want to make any definitive statements, but I think it's kind of interesting. What I would draw conclusion-wise based on what I'm hearing is that the piano was laid down first, and then the rest of the band played to the piano that was laid down, including a version, maybe not the final version, but a version of Freddie singing. Or they could have had Freddie lay down and sing, and the whole band perform together, and then they delete the piano and vocals and then have Freddie go back and record those separately. And maybe the bass performed at the same time as some of the, I don't know, there's all sorts of ways you could slice it. But it's neat to think about the creative ways that they both isolated the instruments and got the best of all the takes. I love that you can hear a little bit of that drum slap back. Let's listen to the break here. Yeah, so you hear, I mean, obviously drum bleed in there, but you also hear a little bit of Freddie singing there. So, yeah, really interesting. Let us go on to these amazing vocals.
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive. And the world.
By the way, it was super fun watching Martel record these and seeing the expressions on his face and then closing my eyes and then going, that just sounds so close to Freddie.
Turn it inside out, yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy, so don't stop me now.
I've always loved this part right here.
I'm floating around in ecstasy, so.
And then he's in head voice, but it's this raspy, wispy, floating around so, and then he grounds so nicely in his chest voice there, but it's subtle. It's so subtle and well blended.
Stop me now.
Yeah.
Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. A shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.
So you can hear the bass bleed, but you can't hear the drum bleed.
I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva.
Oh, listen to that heat, that natural heat he has on his voice.
By like Lady Godiva.
A lot of that's resonance that he's moving around. This is not.
By like.
Bye. This is bye. goodbye. It's resonating further back, and yet at the same time, very belty.
Bye, like Lady Godiva.
And as he leans into that sound, where that resonance is back, and he adds a bit more compression to his voice, bye, like lady, you can hear a little bit of that breakup start to happen. That's natural compression based on how he's placing that sound in his face and in his vocal tract.
Bye, like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky.
Right there is another great example. And he does this in every song, but it's fun to see how his approach varies from song to song.
Through the sky.
Through the sky. I mean, sky. Sky. He's the least static resonating vocalist ever, right? We have, if I take the notes out of there, sky, sky. We must not overlook this as aspiring vocalists, vocalists. This is what makes his voice so interesting. If we get rid of the pitch and we simply observe how he moves the resonance around, how he changes the way his vowels work, and how even over the same vowel shapes, he's back in his approach, he's forward in his approach, he's more nasal, he's less nasal, he's brighter, he's darker, his larynx is higher, his larynx is lower. There's all sorts of amazing things that he's not thinking about. He's just being this character when he's singing, an alternate version of himself. But if we don't work these sorts of things into our own singing and observe these kinds of things, oftentimes our voice will feel boring and trapped.
200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you.
Oh, I love the layers there.
Man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time.
How staccato those backing vocals are. And I love this right here. The backing vocals fall. They fall off, and then you've got his. He falls off later, and that's just part of the like free nature of it. I think sometimes when I do background vocals, I tend to make them stick with the lead in areas that maybe they shouldn't. And it's neat to hear that kind of stuff. I mean, this is definitely a very gang approach where we've got the lead vocal doing its thing, and then we've got this gang behind them. And oftentimes there needs to be this rhythmic and approach disconnect.
I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a call.
There's another amazing example. Listen to how he changes his resonance around.
Call.
Just give me a call. Call. Just give me. There's a little bit lower. It's very forward. Give me a call. It's moving the resonance around that makes it so expressive.
Call. Don't stop me 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me yes, now. I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at all. Yeah. I'm a rocket.
Oh, another. I love calling these out.
Yeah. I'm a.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just try that with your own voice and then assign comfortable pitches to it and see what happens. It doesn't matter if you're exaggerated or over the top. I mean, he is, but he's made it work. He dials it back so that it works artistically.
I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars on a collision course.
On that vowel, listen here.
Mars
versus it's more less crowy. Mars versus
Adelaide, I'm out of control. I'm a sex machine ready to reload. Like
load.
Like an atom bomb about to explode. I'm burning through the sky. Yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
That's interesting. A definite punch there.
200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
he can sing that in one take, but you can hear that's a different performance there. You can hear the proximity change.
Yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they...
And there's no breath.
Yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you.
That's cool. Those doubles that came in there, the first time we've heard something like that.
I'm gonna make a supersonic woman of you.
Not just the lower pitch, but even on that high note.
I'm gonna make a
On I Wanna.
Make a supersonic woman of you.
Very cool.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh.
Now listen to that. That's a great example of hitting a higher note, but not really making it about the note.
Don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me.
He's not precise on the other heys. Hey, hey, hey! But he is precise on that high note.
Don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey! Don't stop me.
I talk about this a lot in my courses, where if we are very like sort of speech oriented, hey, hey, and we just go for one note, we don't get trapped into this sort of robotic, like everything's about pitch, right? If we're hey, 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 that ends up being more like stringent. And I'm focusing too much on pitch, and that didn't sound so bad. But if we can be freer, hey, 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 we are more conversational and more engaged with the natural way that others are engaged with our voice, which is our speech, if we don't always make it about hitting notes. I realize I'm reading in a lot to this, but it works. Speak intentionally with your voice in the midst of your singing. Great example of that here.
Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh.
You can hear it at the end there too, right?
Don't stop me, don't stop me.
Hey! Just very free.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
There it is again.
Ooh, don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Oh! All right.
Yeah, there's so much speech-related narrative freedom there, but there's great pitches being hit too. It's one of the reasons he's so good. But any of us can take this approach and glean from that what makes him good here. We're not going to sound like him, but we're going to sound like a better version of ourselves.
All right. Oh, burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Hey, traveling at the speed of light.
There, he's so loose and free.
Hey.
If you take nothing else away from this video other than the appreciation of this wonderful vocal performance, take away that. Speech and flippancy, is that a word? Being flippant is partially what helps him deliver such a great vocal performance.
Hey, traveling at the speed of light, I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Yeah, yeah. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
Ball. Nice rasp that he's got in there and sighing out.
Ball.
This, when you put this in isolation and don't listen to the context,
I'm having a ball.
It doesn't sound good, but it is good. It's the level of expression that his vocals are expected to deliver. It just may feel or sound weird when you try to do it because it's so out of context of what you normally do. Don't let it be. Try it anyway.
Stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. Having a good time. Don't stop yes.
Love those little ad-libs in the back.
Having a good time. I don't want to stop at all.
Always love these chord changes.
Stop at all. Da, 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 da.
That resolution there, tension resolution, so cool.
Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, da, da.
Ugh.
Da, da, da.
playfulness between singing and speaking, between performing as a vocalist and acting, being a musical actor. That's what makes Freddie Mercury tick. And we see it in this performance. We've seen a lot of Freddie Mercury performances, but we hear it especially, I think, in this one. And me being able to watch Mark Martel record this one, go check out his version. But me seeing that happen in the studio and how he moves, how he does his face and modifies the way he looks, and then that plays into how he sounds. That's what Freddie does too. It's neat to see that live reincarnation in front of me. If you want help with your own voice, click that link below. Join my free voice course. I'd love to work with you more closely. We'll see you for more.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs. But at the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters. We are family. We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world.
Bonjour. Je pense que je chanson en français. Maintenant, une chanson jolie que je l'aime beaucoup, 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 beaucoup. Je ne parle pas français très bien, mais j'attends. Bonjour, JR. Comment ça va? Je parle français, bonne nuit. Une chanson très spéciale en français pour tous les tours. Je parle en français pour toi. Alors, je chantais cette chanson pour toi. D'accord? D'accord. Un proverbe dit: l'amour aveuglé. en aussi aussi. Oh, un moment. C'est pas bon. Alors, comme ci, comme ça. Merci beaucoup, Todareba. J'ai besoin de 4 heures. Oh. Un moment. D'accord. D'accord. Très bien. D'accord. Mouah. Un proverbe dit, l'amour aveuglé, en audience, cherchez pour trouver. Je cherche un gaillard qui m'est resté dans l'idée. Regardant partout, sans le rencontrer. C'est le gars que je ne puis oublier. Le seul homme à qui je pense avec regret. Mon nom, pour ces initiales, je le changerai. Voilà, rêve perdu, où est le berger? Il est en quelqu'un que je veux revoir chaque matin et chaque soir, et qui me protégera. Je suis un brebis perdu dans le bois. Je donnerai toute ma foi à qui me protégera. Quoi qu'il ne soit pas, oh non, passé dans grande beauté de mon cœur. Il porte la clé. Dans Louise disant devient sauter. J'ai tant besoin de ce quelqu'un. Quelqu'un pour moi protéger. Bonne nuit. Mwah.
I just started a TikTok now too, so I think I might post the next song on my TikTok. Liepe sings out.
That sounds good. We'll check it out.
Maybe we should sing another song about love.
Five little speckled frogs.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah,
Careful about the mic stand.
five little speckled frogs sat on a funky log. Something like that.
I have to do one that's not copyrighted. All right. Well, I guess, we're all kind of sick of paying for gas, right? So a little while ago, I learned that you can use actually hemp, cannabis, to make fuel. So I wrote a song about that. We can make our own hemp fuel. Why not? I think we got some folks in South Georgia working on it right now. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs? You got a nice life. You got a nice wife. You're working hard for your money. You got a slave to survive, but the gas prices never seems to rise. Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis? Don't you want a car that runs on cannabis?
Now we're representing song 22.
I just like to be plugged in.
Hey Rufus, you paying attention? Cause I got a song to sing to you. There you go. It goes like this. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. We Americans, hey, hey, hey. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Ask Washington, Washington. It's what we're founded on, founded on. We make a declaration, declaration to be independent under our nation, nation. And we write it on hemp paper, this manifestation. Hey, hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. Hey, hey, we Americans live for today. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. It's so American, American to be free like African, African. To be free we can, free we can. Grow hemp and hemp seed jam, hemp seed jam. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way, and we Americans live for today.
If we had only 1 acre, we could make plenty of paper. It'd be like 4 acres of trees growing over 20 years. Let's leave the trees for birds and bees. And busy American way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American. We Americans live for today. We Americans live for today. Everybody, hemp is the American way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American what? Way. We Americans live for today. Hemp is the American way. We Americans live for today. We Americans live for today. Live for today.
You have just watched Tune In Tuesday from Angified Presents. We'll be going ahead and taking a short intermission, and we will be right back with you to present to you The Upside of Hurt with Jeremy Hurt and Cal McTaver. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we will be right back.